What made you wish One Punch had never been released? For as long as I could remember, my younger brother Garrett had been insecure about being weak and scrawny. The lacrosse team would shove him into lockers daily, calling him Twig Boy. The worst was when he couldn't open a water bottle at lunch, and his crush, Emily, laughed, asking the guy next to her, "Garrett's too weak. He needs a man to help him." I always felt bad for him, but the day he discovered One Punch Man, everything changed. He burst into my room holding his phone, showing me Saitama's transformation. Look, he was just like me, a weak, bullied nobody. Then he did this simple training and became the strongest hero alive. I was just happy he'd found something that gave him hope. The very next morning, Garrett started Saitama's routine religiously. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every single day. Within 2 months, his arms showed actual definition and his chest filled out his shirts. The lacrosse team stopped shoving him around completely, while Mom bought him protein powder and Dad installed a pull-up bar. "Look at my dedicated boy," she'd beam at dinner. When he shaved his head bald, the school counselor pulled me aside. "Whatever's motivating him, it's working. His grades are up, confidence through the roof." Even I was impressed when he bench pressed his body weight for the first time. The best part was Emily starting to notice, watching him do pull-ups after school and asking about his anime workout. He'd flex and quote Saitama, "I'm just a guy who's a hero for fun." We all laughed because he was finally becoming the person he wanted to be. But as months passed, things shifted when Garrett demanded everyone call him Saitama, refusing to respond to Garrett anymore. Teachers got emails signed Saitama, while he begged Mom to legally change his name. "When you're 18, she said, this is just a phase." Soon after, he quit soccer because Saitama trained alone, and his knuckles stayed permanently scabbed from punching concrete walls in our basement. "I'm removing my limiters," he'd explain, wrapping them in bloody gauze. Now, deadlifting 300 pounds, his frame had exploded from 130 to 200 pounds of pure muscle, with veins snaking up his arms like cables. When I tried talking to him about my concerns, he brushed me off. "You're getting too intense about this. The whole point is to push past human limits." He showed me his training journal filled with detailed power rankings, strength measurements, and notes about breaking through with page after page of Saitama quotes highlighted in yellow. After he passed out doing squats, Mom attempted an intervention. "Honey, you need rest days." Saitama never rested. That's why he transcended. He stormed out to run his 10-kilometer run at midnight. Then the mall incident started a week later when he began picking fights, asking random guys to test his power level until security banned him after the third confrontation. His fist now bore a tattoo reading "One Punch" in bold letters across the knuckles. 6 months into his transformation, Garrett looked like a bodybuilder who'd swallowed another bodybuilder at 220 pounds of carved muscle, with shoulders so wide he turned sideways through doorways. We were driving to get groceries on a normal Tuesday morning when he saw a cop conducting a routine traffic stop on the shoulder. "Pull over," he said with deadly calm in his voice. "What? No, we need to pull over." He grabbed the wheel. "This is it, my moment." I pulled over with shaking hands as he got out and walked toward the officer with purpose. The cop immediately tensed with his hand moving to his holster. And this wasn't some small-town officer either, but a state trooper built like a linebacker himself. "Sir, return to your vehicle." Garrett stood 10 feet away, rolling his massive shoulders. "I've trained 389 days for this exact moment, and you're going to be my real test. Sir, I need you to step back now. I've transcended human limitations, and one punch is all I need." He raised his tattooed fist with the letters "One Punch" visible even from my car. The cop drew his weapon. "Drop your hands! Get on the ground! These fists are my weapons!" Garrett wound up like a pitcher with his entire muscled frame coiling. "Time to see if I've broken through." He lunged forward with shocking speed as the first shot hit his thigh, but he kept coming. The second tore through his shoulder and spun him, while the third and fourth punched into his spine as he fell. I was already screaming and running toward them as Garrett lay on the asphalt with legs twisted wrong and blood pooling fast. He was trying to move, but nothing below his chest responded. Why didn't it work? Blood frothed from his mouth. I did everything. The training, the sacrifice. The cop was calling for backup and medical with a shaking voice while other cars had stopped to help. "I'm supposed to be invincible," Garrett whispered while staring at his fist. "Just like Saitama, I'm supposed to be." His eyes rolled back. Paramedics arrived within minutes and worked on him for 20 because the bullets had shattered his spine and nicked major arteries. He flatlined twice in the ambulance, but by some miracle, they brought him back. 3 months later, Garrett remains paralyzed from the chest down with his massive arms barely working. From his hospital bed, he does finger exercises against the blankets. Heroes always come back stronger. This is just my redemption arc. He still watches One Punch Man episodes on repeat, mouthing along to every word. Yesterday he asked when he could start training again while the show plays on, and Saitama saved the day. He will never be able to train again.